In part 4 of our demo, we're going to be focusing on the ERwin web portal portion of the demo, where we export this to our ERwin portal. And to be able to perform the export, we need to go to our ERwin web portal export functionality in our ERwin data modeler. So we will follow through the web portal publish. And this is going to open up a ERwin wizard for us to be able to do the export. And in our wizard, we're going to define first off where our web portal repository resides, the username and password to be able to access them, where we want this information to be stored, so where this model is going to be placed in the portal, and do we want to publish it to a configuration. Now, configurations are the displays that we will see when users access the ERwin web portal. So yes, we want to publish it, and which particular configuration? We're just going to use the standard published configuration. Notice the ability to attach files to it. So when we export, we can attach a particular file if we want to. And the last one is, do we want to wait until the export is finished? Yes, we're going to wait until it's finished before we actually can return back to ERwin. So to finish the process, we press the finish button, and now this starts our export into our ERwin web portal environment. It goes through several phases where it actually saves it as temporary files and generates the model as it will be stored in the ERwin portal. And when it's finished, it will come back and we can close this export wizard, and it is now being exported to our ERwin web portal environment. So let's have a look at it in our ERwin web portal environment. First off, we're going to log into our ERwin web portal as the administrator, and this is giving us the metadata manager view of our ERwin web portal. But what is important to notice, we've now created that model in our Salesforce folder and our Salesforce information model. We've also now created a copy of that in our published configuration. So through this, we can see how it's actually pulled the information in, and we can then go and see the information has come in from our Salesforce, it's come in from an ERwin data model, where the data model has come from. All that sort of information is now stored in our web portal. What is more important, I'm going to jump quickly, instead of navigating through it in our metadata manager, we are going to switch to what a typical user would see. So let's go to the Metadata Explorer version of our web portal. And we're going to look at the published configuration, and notice the cleaner and crisper screen. Also notice all the abilities to be able to drill into help functionality. So the users can then understand how to use the web portal tool very effectively and easily. But for our particular demo, I'm going to jump straight into our diagrams. And we are going to go and have a look at our model in our architectural diagram. And bearing in mind, if we had pulled in lots more models in our portal, we would see all the other models. I'm just going to drill straight into our Salesforce information model that we've just imported. Notice all the tables that it's been pulled in, and specifically the account table. We're going to just quickly go in and navigate our account table and show this particular account table in our diagrams. Remember the diagrams in ERwin that we navigated and manipulated? We've now got them in several different diagrams. So the first one I want to go to is in our account information subject area, and we will notice that we've now landed in the same diagram as we had it in our ERwin environment. So if we go back to our ERwin environment and look at our account information, you'll notice the same layout that was used in ERwin is now being provided in our ERwin web portal. But this is not just a graphic coming from ERwin. We can actually interact with it, so we can actually see the properties on our particular objects. So let's have a look at the account entity. And our account entity has a set of information that, account information. So we got a physical name, we got the description. Remember the description that we saw in our Safyr environment, which is reflected in our ERwin environment, is now also reflected in the web portal. Likewise, the comments, which is the physical side of our model, has also pulled the same information in. And we can see all the information about that particular entity, which model, where it came from, all that information. We can even drill down to our attribute level, so account ID. Notice that the name has come in. The account ID is the logical name. The physical name of ID. Notice the description and comment, or the absence of them in this particular model, because we did not have that in our Safyr environment, because it didn't exist in the Salesforce environment. So it pulls in whatever it pulls through from our Safyr to our ERwin to our web portal. Also the data type information. So we've got all this information laid out very effectively. Notice the relationships that we've got in our environment. Also notice we can manipulate those relationships in our portal environment. But we got a full interactive model sitting in the web portal. We can even change the display level. So if we want to show it just at entity display level, and we can then go and redraw our diagram just showing our entity display level. And at any point we can go back to the original model as it was imported from our ERwin data model. So we can interact with this particular model in the web portal in a very powerful way. We can also show things, change the notation. I like information engineering, but let's say user prefers the IDF1X standard. So they can view it in the IDF1X standard. They can switch on the labels for our relationships. So our relationship names can be displayed. So a good way of being able to explore our model in our web portal. Please bear in mind that each of these particular tools, the web portal, the ERwin data modeler, and the Safyr tool all have a very rich functional capability. And I've just scratched on the surface of each one of the functionality. The context of this particular demo is to show you how they all work together in a uniform way. So that really concludes our demo of our Safyr environment, passing the information through to our ERwin environment, and importing it into our ERwin web portal environment.